What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so in this video I want to talk about LeBron James as he approaches Kobe Bryant on the all-time scoring list. Kobe Bryant had 33,643 points during his illustrious 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers. And LeBron James is now, ironically, just 81 points away from matching Kobe Bryant on the all-time scoring list. Now, there's been a lot of comparisons between the two over the past several days. It's going to spike, especially when he reaches that milestone. Of course, it's not the first time these two have been compared with one another. They've been compared with one another. I would say all the way back in going back to the mid 2000s when Kobe was doing his thing individually with the Lakers after the Shaq trade, and when LeBron was during his first stint with the Cavaliers, and when that franchise was finally turning around after doing nothing pretty much for a decade. Although Mike Fratello had a couple of years he was doing something in the mid 90s, but for the most part, after the Brad Daugherty, Larry Nance, Hot Rod Williams, Ron Harper, although Harper had left earlier, Mark Price, after all that, Craig Elo, all those guys had gone, that post era, Cleveland had been floundering until the arrival of King James. But there was a comparison between those guys all the way back then. Who was the best player in the league? Was it LeBron James? Was it Kobe Bryant? I don't know anybody that ever seriously said that Steve Nash was the best player in the league at that time. I guess Shaq was still in the equation, but Shaq was starting to slow down. I would say later on in the decade, I would include Dwayne Wade in that conversation. And for 1 year, there was one other guy that was in that conversation. I would say during the 2009 season, especially during that postseason with hype and shit, Dwight Howard. As hard as it is to believe now, Dwight Howard was kind of in that conversation too, or at least as far as trajectory. Dwight Howard's still gonna be a Hall of Famer, but Dwight Howard could have been a top 20 player of all time. That's how high his ceiling was at one point. I remember like debating this dude back then, about 10, 11 years ago. Man, I remember debating this dude who was telling me that Dwight Howard was a more athletic like combo of Hakeem Olajuwon. Yeah, Hakeem Olajuwon and Moses Malone. Yeah, yeah. Type of shit I was dealing with back then, man. The reason why a lot of my hair fell out over the past decade. A lot of you guys might think I rant, on my videos and shit now. Nah, not like how I used to. If I was making videos 10 years ago, it's the reason why NBA Jerry said like some years ago, man, that's like a maniac on the microphone sometimes when I be doing videos. He said that's like a maniac. But, that's why I started doing even more just to piss him off. But anyway, let me get to the point. Kobe Bryant recently said that Lakers Nation needs to stop comparing LeBron to him or other people for the most part. That's kind of what he's saying. They need to stop comparing him and embrace LeBron James. He's a Laker. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he's a Laker. He's part of the fraternity, and he's part of the club, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Laker fans need to embrace him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like this. But I'm not a Laker fan. But I think most Lakers fans feel like this. We love you, Kobe. Nothing but respect for you. But no. LeBron James promised championships, and he will not be embraced officially until he brings said championship to Los Angeles. Period. That's why when he passed Michael Jordan scoring last year in a home game, I believe, he was the only motherfucker celebrating. The crowd was pretty lukewarm. Meanwhile, I believe Kobe passed Mike in a road game, I think it was, and the game had to be stopped because the crowd was cheering. The stand ovation was so loud. He's not going to be, first of all, if you're a Laker fan, a real Laker fan, you're irritated at the fact that this guy came in and said that they were going to win a championship or championships. All right. Now, the first year is supposed to be like a filling around period of time. You know what I'm saying? The first year was just going to be a filling out process. You should be realistic. I thought the Lakers were going to win if LeBron stayed healthy. I thought they were going to win like 47, 48 games or something like that, right? I had LeBron fans telling me shit like, oh no, man, just his presence alone is going to give you 15 wins. So you look at the fact that they won 35 games the year before, look, just his presence alone, the team. Just his presence alone, the team will give you 50 wins. And then when the team gets acclimated to him, because the team always got to get acclimated to LeBron. But when the team gets acclimated to him, get used to playing around him, all that greatness, hey, they're going to win an additional 10 games. 60 wins easy, man. So, meanwhile, as they flounder to a 35-47 record, part of that due to him only playing 55 games, true. But as they floundered during their first season, not making the playoffs, because they're supposed to make the playoffs, that put added pressure on LeBron and the Lakers to succeed. So they got Anthony Davis because he needs help, right? And the Lakers, right now, have the second best record in the NBA. Best record in the Western Conference. They've had the best record since probably the first week of the season. Definitely the second week of the season. But what do you hear from the media? What do you kind of still hear every time the Lakers do lose? He needs more help. He needs more pieces. So, this is the team that's already given up on Lonzo Ball, who I had as a bust, but I don't know what the hell's happened to this guy. But something's a lot of fire in his ass the last couple of weeks. Might be Alvin Gentry. Might be, Kendrick Perkins calling him a bum on national television. Maybe somebody sent a couple, me or ticket videos to him on his Twitter. Uh, but something has set a fire in this boy. He's actually playing like a borderline all-star last couple of weeks. He keep up for another 2 weeks, and I'm going to take him off my bum list. So you got that. You got Brandon Ingram playing like an all-star. You got Zubac playing very, very well. All right. You got Julius Randle playing well as of late with the New York Knicks. They got rid of all these guys. And now it looks like they're going to get rid of Kyle Kuzma to bring in another guy that's going to fit LeBron's game. Maybe a shooter or something. So, if you're a Laker fan, you're like, okay, we're giving up all of these pieces. We're giving up all of these future pieces that we can use, not only for our team, but for negotiating further trades after you leave. We're giving up all these assets for you, LeBron. So you better give us a championship. That's why I did that video. Laker fans don't want anything other than a championship. I'm sorry. No. No. You're going to be judged based on the achievements of past legends. I heard Mark Jackson say some other day that ruffled my feathers. I mean, I guess it's true technically, but I look at it like you gotta put in work, motherfucker. I didn't like when Mark Jackson said that LeBron James was the second greatest point guard in Lakers history. Now, if you're talking talent wise, absolutely. But achievement wise, no. No. Because technically, Jerry West was a point guard most of his career, playing alongside Gail Goodrich. Jerry West did win one championship, okay. Unfortunately, he lost 7 out of 8 fucking finals, which is a terrible record in the finals. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I tend to try to make some, you know, excuses for him. You know, he was playing against the Boston Celtics, Russell Celtics, and that good Knick team in the 70s, you know what I'm saying? But still, he won a championship, and he played 14 years for the Lakers and was unbelievable in the postseason. Still the only fucking guy to win a finals MVP on a losing team. Like I said, he was a point guard for like 11 of those 14 years, even though a lot of people think he was a shooting guard. So, yeah, I have issues with that statement. Because, like, you know, I was debating somebody just the other day, like, when you said that shit, like, yeah, LeBron James is a much better player than Norm Nixon, but Norm Nixon actually won titles and played with the Lakers for several years. So it's like, I don't like people saying certain, it's like this. It's like Michael Jordan was a Wizard for 2 years. But I would rank Phil Chenier over Michael Jordan on any all-time Wizards list. Even though Michael Jordan was a far, far better player than Phil Chenier, but I would rank Phil Chenier higher because Phil Chenier wore that jersey a lot longer and had more accomplishments. But I don't know. Sometimes, I don't know. Some people just like, they don't see where I'm coming from with this shit. But at the end of the day, he got to win a championship. Period. He has to win a championship. Period. No excuses. I don't want to hear no fucking excuses in the media from none of these dudes. Shannon Sharp, okay, Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, Colin Cowherd. I don't want to hear no fucking excuses if this Laker team fails to win a championship this year. He has Anthony Davis, all right, on his fucking team. I keep calling him the greatest. I still say he's a top 5 player in the league. All right, LeBron. No, I don't want to hear any excuses. Got a future Hall of Famer come on the bench and Dwight Howard. I don't want to hear no excuses. If they can't get past the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, hey, don't want to hear it. Okay? George Mikan came into the franchise. George Mikan came with the Minnesota Lakers, and won, I think, 3 titles the first 3 years of existence with Lakers. The first 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, that the Minnesota Lakers were in existence, George Mikan and those boys won 3 titles. Won 5 overall. All right? Then Elgin and Jerry West came on the scene. They were a good team for many years, unable to win the ultimate prize, but ultimately, Elgin retired early in that season, but Jerry West was able to win a title. All right? Ultimately, he realized that goal of winning at least a championship for the Los Angeles Lakers after they moved to Los Angeles. All right? Kareem arrived at the Lakers in the mid-'70s, wasn't able to get it done. Magic Johnson came on board, won a title. Then James Worthy came on, and they became Showtime. Won 5 titles in the 80s. Shaq and Kobe got it done eventually. After losing, okay, they got it done. Shaq was left. Kobe knew he had to win a title to validate himself. He won 2 of them. I'm not knocking for LeBron for last year. That was a tryout year. That was like a gimme. The media put pressure on Lakers to win a title last year when they shouldn't have had that pressure. But this year, they got to get it done. They got to get it done this year. Because I feel like if they don't get it done this year, the window of opportunity is really going to start closing. The reality is LeBron James is 35 years old. That's the reality. His body can give out at any given moment. Period. His body can give out at any given time. Karl Malone looked ageless forever, like he could play forever until, what was it, his knee, I think, finally gave out. No excuses.